Hello, in this video we're considering the poem Nettles by Vernon Scannell. Before we start, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, it would be greatly appreciated if you would. I have the poem here, so let's start. My son, aged 3, fell in the nettle bed. Bed seemed a curious name for those green spears. That regiment of spite behind the shed, it was no place for rest. With sobs and tears the boy came seeking comfort, and I saw white blisters beaded on the tender skin. We soothed him till his pain was not so raw. At last he offered us a watery grin, and then I took my billhook, honed the blade, and went outside and slashed in fury with it, till not a nettle in that fierce parade stood upright any more. And then I lit a funeral pyre to burn the fallen dead. But in 2 weeks the busy sun and rain had called up tall recruits behind the shed. My son would often feel sharp wounds again. The poem explores parental love and responsibility. Like many fine poems, it's multi-layered, so let's start unpacking. In the poem, a father recalls an incident when his son, aged 3, fell in a bed of nettles and was stung. To prevent further painful incidents from occurring, the father proceeds to destroy the nettles, only to find within weeks that new nettles have grown in their place. The narrative is a straightforward and realistic account of a domestic event many readers can relate to, especially a parent's wish to protect their child from further harm. The poem is one of revelation, because by its end the parent realises that he will never be able to protect his child from all of life's dangers. The poem conveys the parent's dilemma. They want to protect their child while acknowledging that hurt and pain can be instructive to their children and help them confront life's many challenges. The poem ends with the father realising he cannot protect his child from all of life's harms. The nettles will always grow back. The extended metaphor of war reinforces the idea of life as a struggle and a battle. The speaker compares the weeds to an army and a constant battle to thwart the nettles. Green spears, regiment of spite, pain, blade, slashed in fury, fierce parade and funeral pyre to burn the fallen, tall recruits, sharp wounds. Life is presented as a battle, and the father at constant war to eliminate all harm his child will face. The nettles are symbolic of the pain life brings, and the father views them as the enemy that threatens his child's welfare. The poem suggests life's dangers are, like the nettles, hidden behind the garden shed, often concealed. The poem suggests the father's anger at the nettles is born from his guilt in failing to anticipate the danger. His wish to destroy every nettle reveals the father's deep love for his child and his wish to protect him from future harm. Viewing the nettles as an enemy and his wish for revenge suggests this is an emotional and primal response rather than one based on logic. The fact that the new nettles replace the ones he destroys implies The father's wish to destroy all that might harm his son is unrealistic. While the father makes it his mission to eradicate all potential harm from the garden, in contrast, the child's mother perhaps recognizes this is fruitless. She does not join him in his mission, but ensures she is there with the father to soothe and comfort her child through the pain. In this respect, the poet offers two approaches to parenting. The child's mother is introduced in lines 7 and 8, with we and us alluding to her presence. The child's vulnerability is juxtaposed through antithesis, with the nettle's green spears contrasting with his tender skin. The poet presents a memorable image of the child's watery grin, not a full smile, to suggest he is on the mend and, although unhappy, has been comforted. Being written in the first person voice makes the poem profoundly personal, and it is reasonable to suggest that the poet and the poem's speaker are the same. The use of enjambment, run-on lines, makes the poem conversational and engages the reader further. The simple rhyming scheme and plain language makes the poem's message memorable, while the active verbs honed and slashed add energy. The extended metaphor of a battle and the personification of the sun and the rain, the busy sun and rain had called up tall recruits, make the poem's themes engaging. The incident setting, a garden, may allude to the Bible's Garden of Eden. In the Old Testament, following their fall from grace, Adam and Eve now experience pain, mortality, and the daily struggle of existence. This poem is centred in nature. We have the natural dangers the nettles represent, the parents' natural response to protect, comfort, and revenge their son's hurt. The poem also offers a way to explore nature on a larger canvas where harm, danger, uncertainty are part of the natural world and must be accepted if we are to navigate our way through life. Interestingly, this is not a poem where a young person is taught a life lesson, but rather an adult. While addressing universal and timeless themes, the poem is also relevant today, addressing current themes, including helicopter parenting, parents that overprotect their children. The poem implies that although the young will feel pain, shock, and heartbreak, these are the teachers that will help them survive in the world. One other theme is that it is often difficult for a parent to judge where the balance between protection and overprotection lies. As the speaker at the end of the poem admits, his son would often feel sharp wounds again. Vernon Scannell, 1922 to 2007, remains a popular British poet and author. Interestingly, he was a former professional boxer and wrote novels about the sport. He fought in the Second World War, including the Battle of El Alamein. Following an assault on an enemy position, he witnessed his comrades looting the dead of both sides. Revolted, he walked away. He was caught and court-martialed for desertion and sentenced to 3 years imprisonment. He spent 6 months in one of the harshest military penal institutions in Egypt before being released on a suspended sentence to take part in the Normandy landings, D-Day. His war ended when he was shot in both legs while on a night patrol near Caen. Following the end of the war, he deserted again and spent 2 years on the run, earning his living with jobs in the theatre, boxing bouts, tutoring and coaching, while teaching himself by reading everything he could and writing poetry. In 1947, he was arrested, court-martialed and sent to Northfield Military Hospital near Birmingham. Despite his many setbacks and chaotic youth, he studied at the University of Leeds and later became a Fellow of the Royal Society of Literature and won many poetry awards, including the Wilfred Owen Association Award. Like Nettles, Scannell's poems often explore love, violence and mortality, and were shaped and influenced by his wartime experience. Like Wilfred Owen, he is recognised as a war poet, recording the lived experiences of soldiers caught in conflict. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you found it interesting and helpful. If you did, please hit the like button. Also check out our other videos on writing and textual analysis. If you haven't yet subscribed, it would be fantastic and appreciated if you would. Until next time, from Carol and me, write well.